Get ready. Woo! We on tour, and we're doing it better than anybody else alive. It's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio looking at a guy out here hollering my name when last year I spent more money on spilled liquor in bars from one side of this world to the other than you made.
Drag your nuts, baby. Breakers Road, Grand Slam exclusive, son. Drag them. Let's go. 101, baby. Let's go.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
The Tillman tap and the Nighthawk knock. Let's go, baby. What up, baby? Let's go. What is up, Grand Slam Nation, son? Bringing the thunder tonight. Man, it's been so long, I even used the old intro. What up? Hope you guys are getting geared up for a good Thanksgiving. I hope y'all can hear me, too. This is all changed. Can you hear me? Yeah, you should be able to hear me. Let me know if you can't. I've been chilling the last few months, obviously, as you guys know. That's kind of by design a little bit. I want to talk to you guys about, my philosophy on the sports card industry, now and in the future, in the short term, but just something that, that's been on my mind this last week or so that I you can take my opinion and a buck and get you a motherfucking root beer out of a A&W machine. You know what I mean? Like, take it for what it is. Can you turn up the mic a little bit? Let's see if I can. Will it turn up? I think that's as high as it goes. Can you hear me now? I think that's as high as it goes. We set up at this big show in Nashville, huge show. That was a good show for us. Surprised me greatly. We set a goal that we probably doubled or tripled, really, honestly. I mean, I set a somewhat of a low goal compared to the past. And that's something that I want to talk to you guys about right now is what you guys need to do is you need to erase from your memory banks the last year and a half in the card industry. You just like I just did. I'm like, oh, well, compared to like, you're going to have to take that year and a half out. Just like if it was an inchworm and you're cutting part of it out and putting it back together, take that part and throw it away. If you do that with that mentality, you're going to come out better. Give you an example at the Nashville show. There's tremendous amount of people in this industry, folks. Massive amounts of people, but there's not people spending $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 like there was a year ago. If you look back a year and a half ago, I would go live with nothing more than an iPhone during a snowstorm and sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of cards. That is over. Like, let it go. It's not coming back. But the first thing you need to ask yourself really is, do I enjoy the card industry? Do I just enjoy it? Because if your play is to get rich, like you saw a lot of people get, let's just be honest, or somewhat get rich until the IRS busts that ass down the road, and you didn't, it's time to go find something else to try to go buy a Don LaPree book, go buy some FTX stock. This isn't for you, because the people who were successful in this industry before the pandemic were the grinders, the ones who loved it. I'm not saying you got to just have an absolute passion for whatever you're successful in, but it sure as shit helps. So one thing you need to do is ask yourself, is this something I enjoy doing? Do I enjoy, perfect example. I drove all the way down to Alabama to a card show to buy inventory or buy good deals or whatever. I bought one comic book, I bought one gold coin, and I bought a card that the only reason I drove down there was a dealer had sold me the card and I was picking up the $450 card. We're at a baseball card show and there's nothing there for me to really turn a profit on. I'm there early. I'm there before everybody else. I'm in before the doors open, yada, yada, yada. Was that trip a failure? No. You can always connect the dots after the fact. What if me and Robbie had gotten there and there was a guy there that hadn't set up in a year and he's laying out Tom Brady contenders and Tom Brady certifieds and Tom Brady autographs from 2010 prices? We're about to get paid. You've got to put in the work. Everybody wants the pie without baking the ingredients. And it's just not going to happen anymore. You can forget that shit. It's over with. Why I say you got to forget that year and a half is a perfect example. We had probably the biggest buyer in the country, one of the top 2-3 buyers in the country of sports cards come to the store this week, and they bought 130,000. It was like 129,000 and some change worth of cards from me. Couldn't have been more than 10 fucking cards. I bet it was. If I counted them on my hands, it couldn't be 10. It's probably somewhere around 8-9 cards, something like that. $130 fucking $1,000. 2 years ago, that would have been life altering. What the fuck? But because of this craziness, everybody's gotten out of whack. You can't talk about what was. It's over. If you can sell 8 or 9 pieces of cardboard for $130,000 and you are a normal human being that goes to work, puts his pants on, if you're some CEO or you own the fucking Atlanta Braves, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the guys like me who get up, go to work, try to make a living, try to run a small business. If you can do that, my advice is to do that. And once I looked at the numbers, honestly, there were a couple of cards that I winced. I thought, ugh. But that's the dummy in me thinking about what could have been, right? Timing wasn't perfect. I'm not sitting on here bragging to you because I sold something last week for something I could have sold for more a year ago. I'm telling you the facts, the real deal shit. Like everybody talks or acts like, man, I'm telling you the cold hard facts of what the real deal is. And it's not easy to find somebody to do that, right? So if you're heavy in these 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 cards, I'm telling you that it's time to move some of that. Stop worrying about what was. It's over. It will never be in the near future again, in my opinion. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. I'm wrong all the time. That's what I feel like. The good news is it's not all doom and gloom, man. Like, I'm just being 100% with you guys. I don't, it's not in my business's best interest to get in here and tell you, hold off on investing in cards. It's kind of like a guy that owns a fucking Citgo gas station say, don't buy gas right now. Probably not the smartest thing from the outside looking in. Why, after everything you guys have done for me, why lie? Why be greedy? Why? You think I could look Glenn in his eyes if he asked me an honest question? There's been times where I can make money on something like Glenn. And if he asks me the truth, I'm going to give him the truth because Glenn deserves that. You guys deserve the truth and do with it whatever you want. But my thing is I'm not saying don't buy cards. I'm saying like look at it this way. This is what I'm doing right now. Do I buy cards right now? Absolutely. Whether it's for the store or for my personal collection right now. I'm trying to get back some things that I sold when I started my store. I'm not buying anything really for full tilt. I'm not going to pay somebody 100% of eBay. Those days are over too. There's value in someone buying your cards for 70%, them taking all the risk, them losing money if something goes wrong, it gets lost in the mail, an employee steals it from them, gets burned up at a UPS shipping, which happened to us. We lost about $4,000 or $5,000 because of UPS shipping station had an explosion. So what I'm saying is, if you're going to be a buyer of things, now's going to be a time where don't pay full tilt. If you buy something, if you buy whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, and you're getting a 30% discount on it, that at least gives you a cushion. So if it goes down 30%, you're still even. You follow me? Like, now is a time for patience. I think patience will pay off in sports cars. I think it's going to be a lot of things. But right now, you're going to be able to pick and choose. The one thing I've learned, every time I have a big sale like that, do I miss the cards? Nope. Never. There's one card that really bothered me in the last couple years that I sold. It was the Kobe Bryant Chrome Refractor Rookie PSA 9. I sold it for a big profit. I bought it back. Folks. There's more of them out there. If you've got some card that can buy your child a car or whatever, my advice is do that responsibly. Don't just sell it to some guy at a card show that's going to give you 50%, but it's time to turn that into freedom. It's time to turn that into opportunity. I think that cash will be better off for you than the car down the road. Now, again, I've talked about buying something at a discount. If you're getting a good deal on it, first of all, you can make a living doing that just by flipping cards on eBay. If you're going to shows and you're paying 70% and you've got a good enough bankroll, you can literally make a living and buy cards and flip them. You just have to work at it. It's not going to just fall in your fucking lap. You're going to have to ship things. You're going to have to go back and look at the successful people in this industry from the jump. Don't look at what Leighton Sports Cards is doing now. It's ridiculous. You can't compare those. You have to go back to the infancy of the way he was doing it. The one thing I've learned is, in this industry, there are no geniuses. There's nobody that I'm like, damn, this guy's just so much smarter than me. And I'm an average intelligence. It's hard workers. It's opportunity. It's the American dream, man. Like, this isn't, some elite club like politicians. Like, dude, if you put the work in and you have some integrity, you can make a wonderful living in this industry. Oh, great. Okay. We still on? Let me know. It says reconnection successful. It's been like a month or two, so we had to update a bunch of stuff. Let me know if y'all are on here. But the other thing is, you're going to want to shift into like lower dollar cards, like dollar boxes, $3 boxes, $10 boxes, $20 boxes, $50 showcases, $100 showcases. People are going to want a deal, man. DEAL. A couple years ago at the National, people were just throwing us money at our showcase. We had them all priced. I want this. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. That's not going to happen at the National this coming year. They're going to want deals. It's going to be deals or who's hot. So keep that in mind. You've got to shift. You can't just keep trying to ram a square peg in a round hole. Like, all these dudes, like, if you think you're going to Target and buying a bunch of blasters of Prism and getting rich, you're mistaken. Stop wasting your time sitting at the local Target or whatever. That's not going to happen. It's something that I have great excitement about this industry, because I've seen this industry when it was tumbleweed rolling across the floor at card shows. Literally. Not literally tumbleweed, but literally just a handful of people in there. And man, now these things are absolutely jam-packed, which the good thing about the last couple years is it's kind of like a gold rush that happened, right? Well, even though the gold rush is over, there's still people that are always going to kind of be around because Restream broken. We better now. Always something with this fucking technology. I'm going to have to learn a little bit more about this now. The golden auctions are wild. They put too many too many big items all at once. Too many big items. It floods the market for the guy in the middle. So it's tough. But with that said, if we go out again, man, I'm gonna get off here. We'll go old school when we do some of this stuff. We're gonna be back live some. We're gonna have sales on things and things like that. But you're not gonna hear me telling you, like, if you want to buy a card because you enjoy it or you love it or you want it, I'm your guy. But right now, as far as investing in sports cards, I think you should be investing in patience. Just put your money back. I think in the next year and a half, some of these people that are holding right now, they're holding out. It's just going to keep coming down, that shiny stuff. And in Huntsville at that card show, it was just table after table of shiny cards. And I thought, man, it's just tough. That stuff, people are buried in some of that, but it's going to take some time for it to work its way through the card industry, where it kind of gets to that bottom and then it starts to tick up. But keep in mind, once we hit a bottom, it's not going to just go right back up, man. There's going to be this window. We did an update, and obviously it's not working too hot for us. See, because I can tell the bit rate isn't good. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great week. I wanted to tell y'all some of my thoughts on it from actually being out there and doing some things. Get liquid, get some cash together, and get ready. There's going to be some opportunities out there to make some money. I'm not doom and gloom. I love our industry. Doom and gloom and reality, are going to be, let's do some questions. Let's see. Why are the boxes of it priced so high? They're not, man. I mean, unless you're talking about 2020, I mean, I'm selling boxes of shiny stuff for like $100, $150. So again, forget that part of it too. That's over with. They're not selling for, in the store, they're not. And the answer to that question is, there are cards in there that you can hit that are worth tens of thousands of dollars. Back in 2016 and 17, that was impossible. That they didn't have cards, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying they're not going to be worth anything. I'm just saying they're not going to be worth anything compared to 2021 pricing. 10% of that or 20% of that. And again, I could be dead wrong, and everybody 5 years from now loves select and prism-based rookies. I've been wrong before. Prism Soccer has been going up, and there's not a ton of that. So, I mean, I think Prism Soccer is not bad at all right now to buy, actually. And I don't even know if we have any boxes. I'm not. PSA back to 15. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we'll be getting SP Authentic Hockey. I think we have it in, Christian. We have 21-22 Upper Deck SP Authentic on the shelves. We sure do. The PSA back to $15 it doesn't worry me. It excites me. It should worry those smaller money grab operations, that are in it for the money rather than the love of, you know what I mean? And I'm not naming, I don't know any, I'm just saying that's my thought. Saw select basketball, that's crazy. Yeah, there's going to be boxes of cards, missing packs or whatever. Any other questions we got? Yeah, they went way, they just did the same thing. History repeated itself. They just, they just pushed too much product. I mean, supply and demand, I guess. But with that said, my thinking is, like, if you want to save your, like, I think gold and silver. I mean, it sounds like I'm 80 years old, but to me, gold and silver is a good spot for your cash right now. I think the Michael Jordan rookie. I'd love to have a Michael Jordan PSA 9 rookie right now, but I'm waiting. Any other questions before we go? We haven't been on in a while, man. Been missing you guys. We're not going to go live a lot and bust boxes and all that. I can make you a gold mine product that's better in January than it is in November. I just can. I've done this on the way up, and I'm doing this on the way down. And I was thinking, well, why just give it a couple months? Don't greed, man. That's one thing you're not gonna catch me trying to be right now, man. It's just I'm just gonna try to do the best I can for my employees. No, Luka Doncic rookie stuff is not a hold for me. Vintage, I buy some of it, but not because I think it's some good investment. It's because I'm trying to get every card from a certain year to a certain year. WWE Prism long term, how much is it a box right now? The new few releases right now, who knows? PC Jordan's 90, it's ticked down. I think 1990s Jordan stuff the only Jordan stuff that's going to, is the rare stuff. Right now, I think all stuff has room to go down. That's just my opinion, man. Take it for what it is. $225 a box, you're starting to get to that price where you just have to ask yourself, that's the first year that's the first year of Prism. That's probably not a bad one. At the end of the day, you put a box of that away, you can open it, Who would I go if I was buying cards right now? Shaquille O'Neal is one of the biggest ones that I would go after if I was buying cards right now. Shaquille O'Neal, I just think that, Shaquille's having an impact outside of the sports card world and NBA. I think he's going to maybe take a bump as far as in the public eye or whatnot. But and as far as the other stuff, man, I just don't want to tell you things that I just don't like. Oh, what would I buy right now? I would buy rolls of silver eagles. I would buy gold coins. I would buy, I would invest in myself. Whatever, the best money that you can spend in whatever it is you do. If you're a realtor, invest in yourself. Take some real estate extra classes or learn from someone. Go work for somebody for free. People have a tremendous amount of respect for someone like that, man. You just be surprised what type of doors you can open when you do something like that. Pokemon is one. On the way in, I was thinking, well, is there anything? I do suggest this. Call me crazy, and I may be wrong, but a booster box of Pokemon, when it comes out, they come out about every 2 months. They tend to just go up. Nothing crazy. You're not going to get rich quick, but you could buy a booster box only is what I would invest in. And I would maybe buy one booster box when it comes out and put it in the closet. It's typically about $90, $90 to $100, and a year later it's 120, and a year later it's 140. And it's not always, until I tell you differently, that's a good play on your money as far as the Pokemon booster boxes. Stay away from the tins and things like that. The booster boxes or whatever. At that show, there was only 9 or 10 booster boxes, and I bought them all. Oh, you can't worry about, dude. That's the Pokemon thing. That gave it more. That shined more light on the Pokemon community. That was a good thing for the Pokemon investors, as far as I'm concerned. Now, not a good look for my man Steve, but people make mistakes. Let's see. Yeah, it's too early to crack whiskey bottles. My liver and body's felt a lot better not coming on here carrying on. That was a fun run, but I'm 45 now, so any other questions or anything man, I can talk cards all fucking day. I'm having a blast right now. I've been buying some Tiffany sets from the 80s. I've been buying wax from the 80s. The condo rentals, baby Sherry, keeps them filled up. Can't go wrong with that right now. You can. Any investment, you can go wrong. For Thanksgiving weekend. Heck yeah. Come on by. Come see us. How do you feel about Giannis rookies? I do not like Giannis rookies. I don't. If the question is, hey, do you like X to invest in sports cards? The answer is no. If you say, hey, I like Giannis cards, do you suggest I buy them? Then I'm saying, well, yeah, instead of buying a damn $600 pair of boots to impress some girl, yeah, I'd buy the Giannis cards. But no, right now, no. No, I do not think NTRPAs are the best way to go. That's just my opinion. Everybody loves them. They are the standard right now. I just feel like there's not a game use patch in them. I think the flawless, but again, that's just my opinion, man. Rental costs, rental costs on opening a card shop. Right now, just honestly, if you're asking me, I'm never going to try to squash someone's dreams, man. Like, if it is your dream to open a card shop, I say go for it. If for any other reason you're doing it, right now, I would say don't do it. Because whether it's a card shop or a lawn mowing business or pie making company, whatever it is, there's so many things that you have no idea that you're going to have to do to be successful. And the only way to really do it is if you have a love for that business or love for the industry, that you'll do it. So, man, if it's been whispering in your ear for 20 years and you want to do it, my advice is always going to be, hey, man, you got to have some balls. You're going to have to, everybody looks at like a kid that's 18 or 19 and let's say he gambles and they say, oh my God, my son gambles. He's got a gambling problem. And maybe he does. I'm not minimizing that. But maybe you want to flip the coin on that a little bit. He also may have enough balls to open up a small business because he has that ability to take some risk. There's going to be some risk involved if you do. Top 5 NFL investments, fuck, man. Like I said, I'm not giving you advice on NFL investments. I don't think I'm just being honest with you. I don't think there are investments to buy right now in the sports card market right now. I'm just telling you my opinion. That's a great question. What are you looking for to feel like cards are at the bottom, right? Because it's a great question, because I think about that shit all the time. I'm like, when this thing bottoms, baby, I'm coming in like a wrecking ball. And the answer to that is, once cards go down to a number, and over, let's say, a 6-month period after, you see them ticking up, right? Like if you go on eBay right now and you look at Jordan Rookie BGS 9, and it's staying steady over the last 30 or 45 days, to me, you're kind of, you could be getting close. You could not be. It might just be a plateau, and then it keeps going. But the way to see that it's coming back, right, is upticks, not just staying the same, because it may stay the same for a few months and then come down more. Never try to catch a falling knife. That's what I've learned the hard way. If there's a card I want, patience has paid off. I don't try to guess anymore. Okay, the Griffey Upper Deck 9 is going to go down to $80. Well, man, fuck, I don't know what the bottom is, and neither does anybody else. But if the card goes down to 90, and then for a few months it's at 90, then you see it at 95, then 100, then try to start buying it around that 9,500 mark, man. It's better than buying it at 150, trying to find the bottom, right? And then say, well, I'll just buy it 150, I'll buy it 140, then you're going to average at 120. No. I think you should buy all the way. I think you should try to buy as it starts to tick up a little bit. You're not going to lose any money sitting on the sideline watching, like learning about it and studying it. And there's so many tools out there that a lot of people do the work for you. Okay, rent prices. Okay, good. Come see us anytime, man. Justin Fields, dude, I'm just not going to go that way. I'm just not doing it. I don't want to tell people, oh, buy this guy, buy that guy. That's bullshit, man. Like a lot of these dudes create amazing content. They have amazing videos and they flash cards and prices and this and that. It's like, man, that's not me. I'm not tech savvy, but I've been doing this a long, long time in a serious manner, and I've got some information that I can share for free. I shouldn't charge you. I shouldn't make you watch ads. you've done for me, and I want to do for you. That's it. I don't feel like you owe me if I give you just my opinion from what I've learned. Yes, stocks have rebounded some. Okay. Yes, the 10%, that's on the way up, Andrew, though. Yep, if you buy what you like, that's always true. ALT, A-L-T, Ryan. I think that's a pretty good one to scan a card that's graded. That's been my key the last 6 months or so, is I've really bought stuff that I really like. Just buy things that you enjoy in the card industry, and like that's what this is meant to be, as a hobby, something you can enjoy, right? Like this wasn't meant to like buy you a yacht or a mansion. Like this was never really, this just kind of happened. I can't really, I'm not intelligent enough to tell you what all happened, what all, everything that happened. All I can do is tell you what happened, how it was different than all the other years from 1989 forward, and that there's still plenty of meat on the bone for you to sell your cards. I'm just telling you, I believe selling your cards right now is the move. That's just me. Particularly like run-of-the-mill stuff. Jerry Rice rookie PSA 8, Jerry Rice PSA 9, Joe Montana PSA 9. Ultra rare stuff. I don't care if you have a piece of shit and it's the only piece of shit on the planet, it's still a piece of shit. Rare doesn't always mean valuable. Like just because you have a one of one of some slapdick doesn't mean that it's valuable. Two people really have to want it. But what I mean is rare, good stuff. Wealthy people, they get to a certain point, man. I've learned this in my dealings with them. I had never dealt with wealthy people before this boom. I didn't know how they operated, but if the guy has hundreds of millions of dollars and he wants a card and there's only one of them, does $1 million make any fucking difference to him? No, it doesn't. I'm just telling you, it doesn't. So they buy it. So with that said, if you have something like ultra rare, yeah, hang on to it. Put it in the safety deposit box. Over my 30 years of doing this, my friends who have done that, it's paid off. But it would have paid off more had they sold it last year. Do you see what I'm saying? It still paid. I mean, I have friends who got LeBron autos for $200, $300. I think Garbage Pail Kids, I bought a Series 4 box the other day just for fun. But I don't think collectibles are a good spot to put a bunch of money in. And I mean, like I said, I'm a card shop. People think you're crazy or whatever. Man, I am who I am. I'm not saying don't buy cards. I'm just saying don't buy them with the expectation of getting wealthy right now. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. Barry and Brown is a baller, but I'm Kentuckied out, man. I really am. Let's see. Julio Rodriguez. Again, a lot of people shift into, well, hey, Nathan, we've been programmed. Like, it used to never be people come to my store and go, hey, Nate, who do you think I should buy? But over the last few years with all this content creation, that's what everybody wants to know. Who's the next big thing? Who's the next big thing? And it's like, man, a guy can make 100 videos and be right 7 times. And it keeps showing the 7 times he's right. And it's like, I just don't see how anybody in good faith can tell people, hey, right now I think you should be buying, whoever. I think right now is the time to, at the very least, hold steady with what you have. And that's pretty much it, man. I mean, do whatever you want, man. Prove me wrong. Do a video about what a dummy I am. At the end of the day, I feel like that our industry is rising, and that's the thing that kind of, I guess I wouldn't say disappoints me or frustrates me. I just feels kind of sad. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are just, it always comes down to the almighty buck. Like, I go into the show at Nashville and I have this tremendous pride that there's so many people in that building buying sports cards and kids walking around and dealers are selling cards. And a lot of us have been there when it wasn't like that. But then you hear all these dealers saying, well, I didn't sell anything. And I'm thinking, man, there were 2,000 people in here. If you're not selling anything, that's a price problem. Or you've got rare pieces of shit we were just talking about. It's typically a price. Yeah, I don't know about bubbles and all that stuff. I just know that there's a tremendous amount of interest in sports cards. It's just changed some. Yeah, I saw that the Luka logo, man, 3 million. That's still too high, but hey, to each their own, man. The rich can do some crazy stuff, I guess. But I put my pants on. I go home to work on a Sunday and try to share with you guys what I've learned or what I'm learning, and I'm sure there'll be more shit we learn. Anytime y'all want to talk cards now, come to the shop. Let's chop it up. I'm always interested. The next few months, man, is going to be the same as it has been the last few months. We're not really interested in buying tons of cards or anything. If you have some, if you want to sell it for a great deal, yeah, we'll buy it. We'll turn it into cash. But right now, it's more. I haven't watched the Behind the Card documentary. Is it good? Yeah, we'll do Black Friday specials, folks. We'll do some things that are affordable, like dime bags, golden nugget, stuff like that right now. And I hope this helps somebody. I'm just rambling about sports cards or whatever. Personal box rip. What do you want me to? Man, I don't really feel like opening anything, man. It's crazy. I've tap danced and hooped and hollered and all that. Like, I just don't feel like opening anything right now, man. I'll try to get you a box open this week or something. Yeah, the Connor McDavid is a good one. I remember that. Yeah, it does affect everything, but this is a little bit different animal we were dealing with. There was an influx of so much money from, like funds, like I don't know where all the money was coming from. I can't speak on that. I don't necessarily know where it was all coming from. I can remember being at shows thinking, what in the hell is going on? And just being like, shit, it was just like an alien landed. Like, I just couldn't believe all this, cash was just being infused into our industry, which is great. That's something I'd like to ask you guys, because we've done Pokemon at the store. That seems to be working pretty good. As far as collectibles, is there, like Yu-Gi-Oh? Or is there anything else a collectible store could be? Clint, I know that definitely that some of that stimulus money came into the card industry, but damn, it sure seemed like there was a lot more than $1,200 or $2,400 per collector coming out. But it definitely helped, pump it up. But just keep in mind, sometimes I think it's best that you let it go and wince a little bit and move on. Turn it into cash. We cannot take these to Kroger and buy a loaf of bread. Keep that in mind. Do whatever you want. I don't want you to be mad at me if you sell something and it goes awry, but I'm thinking that, the next year or two, you're going to have a lot of opportunities in this industry, but it's going to have to do with cash. Yeah. Big money in the graded alpha and beta of Magic the Gathering. We may have to try Magic the Gathering. Yeah, could be some of it was the sporting events. I don't know, man. Was the Behind the Card good? Somebody asked me if I saw it yet. Stimulus money and people just staying home in general, yeah. Vacation funds turned into car funds, that's true. Yep, then when people saw the Go Rush, that's pretty... Zach Davis, pretty smart mofo, man. He's All true. We were all cooped up. See, I forget that. I wasn't. I was down here with Rookie shipping stuff, and we were coming into work every day. It was wild times, man. COVID, that was some wild shit. People yelling at us not to wear masks. It was wild. Sometimes we do. We trade cards for coins or vice versa. Yep. All right, Nation. We covered a ton of opinions today. I'm sure you can see plenty of videos where somebody says the complete opposite. All I'll ask you is look at their results and look at mine, and then decide who you want to listen to, or listen to both, or listen to nobody. Do your own thing, but be careful whose advice you buy. You know what I'm saying? In any industry. Is it good? Next year is going to be a good year in football for the football cards. Whew. I think next year's football stuff will be good. But again, good is a relative term. Good compared to what? You know, what is this? Yeah. It's been wild, man. It's been a heck of a ride. Just seeing people buy your friends buy a card for a couple thousand, sell it for 20,000. It was wild. Hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. Have a good Thanksgiving too. Spend it with some people that love you no matter what, right? Rain or shine. Let's go. Deuces. Stay up, folks. If you're having a hard time too, mentally, I think people sometimes have ambition, and their mental stability pushes them back down to the beginning. The key is to sit down with someone that's a professional and try to get a little bit of that ironed out. Nothing's perfect, but if you can just tweak the way you operate, you might go from not quite being able to get over the hump to being the motherfucking hump. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind, man. Don't be embarrassed to go talk to someone. Do whatever you want. It's your life. We all get one. Don't be embarrassed about anything that's not in your control, yo. So we got to change how we treat people. It's fucking crazy how in this country, if you've got a broken arm and you walk into a room, people spaz out. But if someone's mentally not well, people want to sweep it under the rug. That's something else I've learned in this helping my father is you are in charge of your own health, your own well-being. The government's not going to help you. The nursing home's not going to help you. You better be you or a family member who gets shit right. Deuces. Holler at your boy.